In this video, we're going to be exploring how your sleep hygiene may be impacting your sleep, and I'm going to share some practical tips for how you can change it. Now, when we're talking about sleep, there's a few different elements. There's getting to sleep, the staying asleep, and then there is your quality of sleep. Now, to really explore how we can impact each of these, how we can help you get to sleep more easily, get deeper sleep, and to stay asleep for longer, we need to think about it from three different perspectives. We want to talk about what happens during the day, what happens in the few hours before you go to bed, and then what happens whilst you are in bed. So let's start off with what's happening during the day. One of the things that I've noticed over the years working as a clinician is that people can get very fixated on the nighttime and not recognize the importance of what's happening during the daytime. If we are constantly stressed, if we are constantly dysregulated in our nervous system during the day, we're basically setting ourselves up that when it comes time to sleep at night, our system's already a long way away from where it needs to be. So here's a few practical things that you can do. Firstly, avoiding stimulants. Sugar, caffeine, and so on will cause your cortisol to raise during the day. And cortisol is effectively the opposite hormone that you need to sleep at night. We need melatonin to sleep at night, but as cortisol goes up, melatonin goes down. So removing stimulants will help. The second thing is managing your nervous system. The better regulated we are, the calmer we are during the day, the easier it is to sleep at night. Let's now talk about your evening routine. I think it's a common thing that we think we can do whatever we want in the evening, get into bed, close our eyes, and just expect to fall asleep. But those hours before bed are super important in how they set our nervous system up to be able to fall asleep. If you are spending a lot of time looking at screens during the evening, the blue light in the screens will reduce your melatonin, which is the hormone of sleep, and make it harder for you to get that quality sleep at night. Now, sometimes people say, but this is my time to relax and I want to be able to watch these things. Maybe just doing it earlier in the evening may be helpful. Or even using blue light blocking glasses. You can get these glasses which will reduce the amount of blue light that gets to your eyes, will reduce the impact of watching screens in the evening. A little hack that can be really effective is if you think about what would have happened back in nature. The sun would have been in the sky, it would have been warm, we may have lit a fire. When it was time to go to sleep, the sun will have gone down, the fire will have burnt lower, and the temperature would drop. That is a cue to our system that it's time to sleep. We can mimic that by having a hot bath or a hot shower an hour and a half to 2 hours before it's time to go to sleep. And by raising our body temperature and then it gradually coming down, that is a clue to our system that it is time to sleep. And then finally, I want to talk about what actually is happening when we are in bed. Let's think about it as your external environment and your internal environment. We want your external environment to be dark. Research shows that even a small amount of light when it's time to get to sleep can significantly impact on the quality of our sleep. Going back to my point about what we can do in our evening routine, we also want to be cool enough that we're not too hot, but again, that supports these cues to our system to go to sleep. Thirdly, we want it to be as quiet as possible. Now, if we're fortunate, we live in an environment which is quiet. If we live in a big city, we may need to use something like earplugs to reduce the amount of noise to allow us to settle and to fall asleep. So that's your external environment. Let's just look then at your internal environment. There are practices that we can use. There are meditations. In fact, check out this video on screen on my YouTube channel, which is a meditation to help support you falling asleep. that some kind of visualization or meditation practice can help us calm our system. Sleep is a state of surrender. It's a state where we let go and we fall, that's why it's called that, we fall to sleep. If we are rigid, tense, holding on, we're pulling away from sleep as opposed to moving towards sleep. So anything that you can do to help calm your mind, come more into yourself, will help you to fall into that state of sleep. Remember, sleep is a natural state. Often we think a bit too much about the things we need to do to get to sleep, but if sleep's a natural state, what we're really talking about is removing the things that we do that get in the way of sleep. So hopefully this video has been helpful in giving you some signposting, some guidance towards that. Let me know in the comments below this video what you found helpful in supporting you in falling asleep. And thank you for watching. I look forward to talking with you in the next video very soon.